August book haul. I'm so excited. So many books that some I've actually already started. I couldn't wait to film this book haul to go ahead and start, you know, reading the books. I have some books here that I received for a couple of BookTube tours. I also have some books here that I've previously mentioned that I got in book boxes or book bags. Of course, I have a book outlet haul. Alright, let's get into this. The first book that I got for a BookTube tour, Finding London by Ellie Wade. Now, this is a book that I received for free in exchange for an honest review. There'll be links down below if you want to check out the author and more information. But I received this book for the BookTube tour. Thank you so much to Grace and also to the author Ellie Wade. I'm so excited to read this one. First of all, this cover is so gorgeous. It's like all of my favorite colors in one. It's a contemporary book, so it, I believe, is told from two perspectives. It's about a girl named London and a boy named Loic. London is a girl who's kind of always gotten what she wanted in life, and she runs into / meets this boy named Loic and just is head over heels for him and is like, I want you. Loic, not being someone who is interested in falling in love or being in a relationship because he believes it's distracting, you know, it just immediately just turns London off. It's just like, no, I don't want to be with you. Of course, she's like, no, I want to be with you. And so it sets the premise for a very, very interesting story. Very, very excited to read this, so thank you so much to Grace over at Lovin' Them Books. Alright, and the next book series that I started, and another book series that I received to Grace, I received all three of these books for their BookTube tour / ReadAthon, partly hosted by Fierce Reads, so thank you so much to them too. The Remnant Chronicles series by Mary E. Pearson, and I actually got to meet her back in April at the Texas, North Texas Teen Book Festival. I have a copy of her first book in hardback that I got signed, but Fierce Reads and Grace, they were so kind to send me the first book again in paperback, which if you can look at this thing, like, it is thoroughly bent up and destroyed. I actually just finished this first book in the series yesterday, and it lived up to beyond the hype, you guys. I'm gonna have a whole video when I finish the whole series. Currently on the second book, The Heart of Betrayal, but the entire series, the first book is The Kiss of Deception, the second book is The Heart of Betrayal, and the third book, which is so beautiful and big, The Beauty of Darkness. Like, these covers, like, normally I don't like when real people are on the covers, but this book series just... There is also a readathon going on right now. It started August 9th and it'll go till September 9th. So I am participating in it. You can use the hashtag ReadRemnant and also the hashtag BookTube Tours if you do decide to read and join the read along. When I finish them and when I buy a bookshelf, this will be on the top shelf with all the other series that I love because it is just totally living up to the hype right now. There'll be links down below to the author and more information about the Remnant series if you're interested. Next book is an arc that doesn't come out until October, and this, like, the craziest thing happened. So I was just a regular day. I was just, you know, scrolling through Instagram, and all of a sudden I get this DM or a direct message, and I'm like, who is this from? Okay, Cami Garcia, the co-author of Beautiful Creatures, messaged me asking if I was interested in reviewing an arc of her new book, The Lovely Reckless, and of course I was like, yes! Next book I have here is The Lovely Reckless by Cami Garcia. I'm so excited. There is, like, so much hype around this. I did not read Beautiful Creatures, but I did watch the movie, which I know is a big, big sin. In the mood for contemporary books, and this is a contemporary book here. Next book I got in my uppercase bag for last month in July. This Savage Song by Victoria Schwab. Oh my god. Okay, so this is, like, one of the most hyped books at the moment, and I'm just so scared to read it, and also really excited because it is an urban fantasy book. Victoria Schwab is, like, I haven't read any of her books yet. I've heard, like, so many positive reviews on this. You guys know I'm a fantasy girl. It takes a lot for me to hate a fantasy book. Like fantasy books in me, they just were like cookies and milk. We go together. I don't even know how to describe this book, okay? It has creatures that aren't your usual supernatural creatures. They're creatures that that the author made up. It's an urban fantasy, and I'm so excited for this one. If you have read it, like, let me know your thoughts down below. The next book that I got, this one I received in my LitJoy crate last month, Rebel of the Sands by Alwyn Hamilton. I still cannot pronounce her name. I apologize. Again, another really hyped book. Another book that, see, like, there's so many books that everyone's just like, read this book, and I just wish I could read like 10 books at once. It's about a girl and a foreign fugitive on the run in the desert. There's magic in it, and that's about as much as I know about it and as much as I want to know about it, because it just sounds magical, and magic and adventure, they go together. Just like me and fantasy go together. Now into the book outlet unboxing. So much to Book Outlet. I say this in all of my monthly book haul videos, but I am a vlogger friend on Book Outlet, so I did receive a gift card to pick out these books, so thank you so much to Book Outlet. There'll be links down below if you want to check out my vlogger page, which will have all these books on there, and Book Outlet just has amazing deals. First thing I got from Book Outlet actually isn't a book. What? It is something ever since I got into journaling, I've been wanting to do one of these so badly. Wreck this journal! Oh my god, okay. I like flipped through this as soon as I opened my Book Outlet box. I cheated a little bit, okay? And it is just so cool. Like, it has the coolest journaling prompts. Like, for example, cover this page using only office supplies. Like, what? I'm ridiculously into journaling at the moment, and I'm so excited. I'm going to finish this Wreck This Journal and do a flip through video here on YouTube. The next book I got, I read the synopsis of it. I had not heard about this book before. I was scrolling through Book Outlet and it caught my eye. The Silver Witch by Paula Baxton. Now, I don't think this is a young adult novel. I believe this is an adult novel. This book sounds so cool. This book is about a woman. Her husband recently passed away, and she moves away from the village that she lived in, and she ends up moving next to this lake. She, I believe, starts getting visions after her husband's death, almost like some sort of power where she could see things. But as soon as she moves to this new town, this new area next to this lake, she starts getting like these weird sensations, like, you know, animals are drawn to her, and her visions become stronger, and there's just magic surrounding this new place that she's living in. She starts to see visions of the prince. She later discovers that in Celtic times, a woman, or like a witch / shaman, used to live exactly where she moved to, and so it's kind of really crazy. This woman also meets this other woman that lives across the lake, I believe, and they have a lot in common, and it sounds like a really magical, like, witch story. And I believe this is an adult novel, so I have never read an adult fantasy sort of witch novel, so everything about this book intrigued me. I'm just looking forward to reading this one a lot. This next book is the most, again, this book I'd never heard about before I scrolled through Book Outlet and it caught my eye, called The Birds in the Sky by Charlie Jane Anders. This book follows two characters, Patricia and Lawrence. Now, this book is so cool because it has to do with both magic and science. Patricia, one of our main characters, she has the ability to talk to animals and even turn herself into a bird, so she is just encompassed with magic. Her best friend Lawrence is a science lover. He ends up going to school to become an engineer, and he's just very science oriented, and his way of solving problems is through science, even though he knows Patricia and he knows that magic is definitely a real thing in this world. These characters start off in high school, but something happens and they end up separating and not meeting again until 10 years later. Patricia graduated from this magic academy. Lawrence is an engineer, like he always wanted to be. Something's happening, and Lawrence is trying to save the world with his science and computers and engineering abilities, and he meets Patricia at the perfect timing again, and her magic also, like, they're like an inseparable duo because of both the magic and the science, but they come together to kind of save the world, and it sounds so cool, and I'm just like, I believe again that this is an adult novel, so it is just like, I just want to read it. It's just amazing. Next book I got because I am now a huge fan of Jay Kristoff, the co-author of the Illuminae series, a series that I read the first book and I'm about to read the second book. The Storm Dancer by Jay Kristoff. Now this book is a fantasy, an epic fantasy book. Girl who has to go and capture this griffin in this like magical forest with a couple other people, I think, or something like that. And she ends up getting lost and having to find her way through this deadly forest with only this griffin for company. I'm probably describing this book really badly, but I know, again, it's a fantasy book, so there's a lot of elements in it, and I'm just so looking forward to reading it. This next book, like, I saw this and it just brought back a flood of memories of the first book in this series that I read so long ago. I think when I was 14 I read the first book. Between the Spark and the Burn by April Genevieve Tukolik. Oh my god, I totally butchered her name, I apologize. Oh my god, okay. A book, I don't own, I borrowed the first book from the library, that's why I forgot about it and I don't have it. But the first book is called Between the Devil and the Deep Blue Sea, and it is the creepiest, like, coolest book ever. Like, I don't even know where to begin to describe it. It's about a girl who lives in this town with her brother in this giant old mansion because her parents are artists and they're never around, and it's just, she loves art, and then there's this boy that comes to town, like, again, a really small town, and he has like these powers, sort of. Like, oh my god, I read it so long ago. I'm gonna have to buy the first book before I reread, or before I get into the second book. But all I know is that the book was really creepy, and I loved it, and I was waiting for the second book to come out, but I just forgot about it. But now I have the second book years and years later, and I'll have to rebuy the first book and read it. But like, literally, if you want a really good book to read, Between the Devil and the Deep Blue Sea. I read it when I was 14, and it was amazing. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this book haul. Let me know some books that you recently got if you did recently get books. Until next time, keep reading, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!